I'm Krista Svalbonas, and I currently live in Chicago. The dates of my residency are May 20th to August 10th, 2015. And I'm a photographer, painter, and installation artist. So my work is primarily about architecture. In grad school, had built this large-scale room that you would walk into that had about 7 different videos in it, which had small doors, and you'd open it up, and it was referencing memory palaces. As I've progressed as an artist and tried my hand at different mediums and sort of explored my own identity, I realized that influence probably comes from a family history of displacement. So my parents were born in Latvia and Lithuania. So I'm interested in exploring that and exploring what home means and how architecture relates to that. One of the series that I'm working on here at Bemis is a extension of a older body of work that is based on a topography of rural barn structures in Pennsylvania. The paintings first begin with a lot of photo documentation. I am trained formally as a photographer, so I have documented the barns for several years before I started painting them, and I use the photos as a direct reference to color, shape, form in all of the paintings, but then I also use those photographs in silk screens. The other series is a photographic series of work that's based off of Omaha's actually first housing complex. It was built in 1940, and it was started as this part of the New Deal, and there was this housing act that was taking place nationally across the United States, and this housing complex was part of that. In all those houses that we see, that we would term projects, they're hidden and not meant to be looked at. That they're designed that way in this sort of subversive kind of architectural style where it's not something to be paid attention to, and I think that definitely causes a psychology for the inhabitants that live there. For me, visiting that site and knowing all that history and sort of living with that history for several days here, it was a really surreal event to kind of enter that space and see what exists there now. It's a perfect, pristine park, individual homes that are unbelievably well kept. The grass is absolutely manicured, and each home is unique in its own right. And kind of seeing that there is no remnant of this pretty heavy history. There's nothing of that left.